just noticed that need to be fixed. Hi, friends. Hey, so I wanted to catch some of you moms before you went to go pick up your kids. Let's see, it's 2:26, so I am picking up Nolan very soon too. But I had a really important share or message that I wanted to, to impart. I didn't want to keep it to myself. So, and the reason I say, hey, this is for you mamas, is that I know that there's probably a lot of us, you might have been like me 16 years ago, or even 12 years ago, before Nolan was born, or even I feel like when he was 2 or 3, when I would start to think about what, even though I was already doing this business, I already had my business 16 years ago, I had constantly been thinking to myself, like, well, how can I grow this, to be bigger, and what do I really want to create with this business? And knowing that there was this sort of heart and soul of the business that was way more than just a business. And so I imagine probably some of you feeling that way. Maybe you have a business currently, or for some of you mamas, maybe you have been mama-ing and you have been doing, one of the most important jobs on the planet. And recently you've been thinking about starting your own gig, starting your own business, or starting your own consultancy of sorts. But you haven't pulled the trigger. And it could be for many different reasons, right? That you haven't actually done the paperwork, or you haven't gotten the business name, or haven't gotten support on it. But here's an idea that I think might get you over the hump. There are I feel like my job is truly so much about getting people over the hump, specifically helping women and women entrepreneurs, female creative types, female creatives, to get over the hump, in their business. Meaning, I work with a lot of women who have had businesses for 2 years, for 4 years, for 8 years, yet feel like they haven't, really made something of it, right? And for each woman, it's really unique. So for some women who have been in business for a while, their story could be, well, I just feel like I haven't made the money that I can make. For other women, it might be, I'm making the money, but I don't feel like I'm on purpose, right? That's their hump. For other women, it might be, I just feel like maybe I don't have the balance, and not that there is perfection, or not that there is this perfect 50-50 balance, but just a semblance of, right? This feeling of happiness in your family life, or just in life in general, and then happiness in business, right? So women come to me with lots of different stories, but the common thread is essentially, I'm committed now. Like, I'm as devoted as I am to my mother, and as committed and devoted. Thank you so much for the thumbs up. As I am to my family, as devoted as I am to my children, I am finally, Michelle, ready to make a real go of this. I'm finally ready. Like, show me how. Let's do this together. Let's collaborate. Let's make it happen. Help me get over the hump. So today, as I'm leaving a workout, I checked my email, and I had a response to a newsletter that I had sent out. And essentially, the newsletter had said, come to Greece with me. Now, this newsletter, if you're not on my list, I'll just tell you quickly what it was. And if you are on my list, then you would have seen it, or it's in your inbox. So the subject line said, come to Greece with me. And the newsletter shared that in my new CEO Changemaker Mastermind group, that we're going to be going to Greece on a service trip. And the service trip is essentially a very similar one very, very similar to the one that I took last November. So 1 year ago, I went to Greece to support the refugees for I think I was gone for about 10 days from my family. About 8 of those days were actually working at the camp. It was one of the most life-changing and beautiful and tender moments and weeks that I've ever had. And so I wanted, and for a long time now, and I finally sent the newsletter this morning, or my assistant did, that I wrote a couple days ago. And I finally want to take people with me. I want to go and do the work anywhere, wherever I am needed, wherever we are needed, wherever our big mama hearts must go, let's go, right? So I get the first email response. It actually ended up being from a very good friend of mine, and she said, Michelle, I'm ready. Like I would love to go to Greece with you, and I want to find out what my next thing is, right? And she worked at Nike for a long time. I freelanced at Nike. So, we come from like a similar background, and I was so excited to receive her email because of this sort of hump idea, this truth, that I was talking about, how so many of us want to get over that hump. We have the energy, we have the love, we have the creative ideas, we have the guts, the gusto, the gumption to do something, yet we haven't done it yet. And so she basically said, like, I'm ready. Like, I want to get over the hump. I've been wanting to do something for a long time, and I would love to go to Greece, meaning I would love to be of service and to be of service more often, right? So here's my thought for you. For any of you who have been thinking about starting your own consultancy, starting your own business, and you haven't done it yet, here's an idea for you. What if you made it less about yourself? What if today or tonight or in the morning you sat down with a cup of coffee or tea and a big piece of white paper, and at the top you wrote the organization, the group of people, the service trip, essentially the way that you want to experience this business or this consultancy through service. So in other words, instead of first thinking about, well, this is what the business would be like, and sort of, again, really making it all about ourselves, why don't you make it about someone else? So make the spark, help yourself get over that hump by saying, right, okay, I'm going to give myself, 2 weeks, to really get after this, right? No more thinking, no more, creative collaboration really needed. Like, what you want to do. You know what it is that you want to do creatively. You know what it is that your business experience, is supporting you with. That you are prepared, to create this business. But the hump might be that we are, again, thinking more about ourselves and what we're going to get than what we are going to give from that business, than what we are going to give from that consultancy. So, again, when we make something bigger than ourselves, in other words, when we make it about another group of people, that we are going to start that consultancy finally, and by 2 weeks from today, we're finally going to start it. We're finally going to make a go of it. When we make it about, again, creating a situation where we are going to become more abundant, become more prosperous, because we have such a desire to give back, whether it's give back a certain percentage of money, give of our time, as I just shared with, the idea of myself and my group, my next mastermind group, going to Greece, and how excited this friend of mine who wrote me back saying, I'm in, like, just let me know more information. I would love to do that. Feel inside of you right now, and you probably already feel it. Like, wouldn't that give you the energy? Wouldn't that give you the inspiration? Wouldn't that give you the fuel to push over the hump, push over any doubt, any thoughts of maybe this isn't the time, can I do this, am I able to do it, any nerves, right? Anything that's holding you back. Let's make it about someone else, because again, when we make it bigger than ourselves, we can create something bigger. When we make something bigger than ourselves, we can create something bigger. And not only can we create something bigger, but we can create it more quickly. So again, for those of you who, and listen, I was there. I was in corporate advertising, and I loved it, by the way. I loved, still to this day, I will speak very highly of my 8.5 years in advertising in San Francisco and LA. And I'm in LA right now, by the way, for any of you who have hopped on and and don't know who I am or where I'm live streaming in from, so 8.5 years of those 8.5 years, probably 3.5 of them, I was at night and on weekends, like thinking about what I was going to do for myself, right? Like I wanted to create a consultancy. I wanted to, in other words, I never even called it that, but I wanted to create something that was mine. I believed enough in myself to know that I could and I would create something, but it took me years. It took me years to finally say yes to myself. It took me years to, to pull the trigger. And so if you are there, if you are where I was, 16 years ago or a little bit more, because I finally pulled the trigger at 16, but it took me about 3.5. Again, saving my inspiration for nights and weekends, saving my creativity, just waiting. And there were nerves. There was definitely fear there. Like, could I do this? But I knew I could, when you go back and forth where it's like, the you on this shoulder is saying, of course you can. And the you on this shoulder is saying, but can you? So if you are at that place, what if you got more excited about what that business will be able to do for other people than what it will do for you? And trust me that because you're doing that, you will reap rewards, both emotionally, physically, spiritually, monetarily, more than you could ever imagine. And, again, thinking about what this business, what this consultancy, what this creative, incubator of sorts, what it will also do for your clients. If you think about it this way, what if you started to think about, and got more excited about how your consultancy, how your business could create opportunities for your clients to be of greater service in the world? How much richer, right? How much richer, how much deeper would the experience of whatever you're doing, meaning I don't think that you have to have a certain kind of business. I don't think you have to, be a coach or be anything to create experiences for your clients. And for yourself as well, but I'm thinking, of clients and just how excited my clients get to be able to serve and to give back while they are growing their businesses, while they are learning about expressing themselves and, how to create their authentic brands. So get excited about that. Think about whether you're a photographer, a florist, one of my clients is an import business. She brings beautiful goods from all over the world and sells them to different houses. Hey, Eric. Different houses, different homes, or different stores that then, those stores sell to different homes. And the list is long, right? Like, I've worked with so many different types of businesses, and every single business, every single woman that I have worked with, regardless of what it is that you do, again, florist, photographer, whatever, you can create some really beautiful experiences within this business, within your consultancy, that gets people excited about working with you, not just because they know obviously your experience and they really trust that you're going to help them land inside of whatever transformation they want, or whatever solution they need, but that beyond that, how much richer you are going to help make their lives, because you have woven in, you have infused, you have baked into your programs, into your services, into your consultancy, into your business of any type, these experiences, again, life experiences, you guys. This has been a theme for me. I think I've talked about it on live stream and in written form for the last 2 or 3 days. It is those life experiences that your clients are going to love you for and thank you for the rest of their lives. These experiences to be able to give back. I don't have to tell any of you that at the end of this long day known as our life, the thing that we are going to feel, the thing that we are going to be so proud and really remember from an energetic standpoint, from a spiritual standpoint, from a physical memory standpoint, are the experiences that we not only got to, share in ourselves, but that we contributed to, meaning that we created for other people. So think about that. Maybe that is the hump. Maybe that is meaning that is going to potentially get you over the hump, is you getting more excited about what this consultancy, what this business can do when you finally create it. Meaning when you finally get, the business name next week, when you finally, get the DBA in 2 weeks, when you finally, start working with someone to create the brand and to create the services and whatnot, that hopefully, that thing that would have gotten you over the hump is, and the thing that would have made you feel more energy towards, again, finally creating this, finally launching this, finally birthing this, is the excitement to give back, the excitement to create these experiences for your clients, because I can feel it and I hear it on my calls with clients and just talking to friends. There are so many of us that need, literally it feels like a need, it's not a want. We need so much to give back and to feel like we are truly making a difference. However, it's still really difficult, or actually I don't want to downplay that. It feels difficult for most of us to find those experiences that make sense for us, or to finally say yes, to those experiences. So what if your business, my business, your business, your business, your business were the opportunities to make it easy for people, again, regardless of the business that you have, to make it easy for people that through your business, through this amazing creative entity that you are finally making a go of, through those businesses, those people who have their hand raised, I want to help and I just don't know what to do. What if it was, and by the way, it is, what if it was our businesses, my business, yours and yours and yours and yours and yours, that will create the opportunity for people to not only have experiences that fill their soul, but so that our communities and the world get what it is that they most need. So is it service? Is it service? Is it service that is going to help you get over that hump? And again, I'll leave you with this, and and I already shared the thought, but it's a powerful one, and that is, again, when we focus on something bigger than ourselves, if we focus on what that consultancy and that business can do for others and start getting creative around that, like how excited, I get really excited, as you can tell, about what my business and how I can create certain experiences for my clients, what our business can do for others, creating something bigger than ourselves, creating something outside of ourselves helps us do exactly what we want to do, which is create something big. Big in size, big in meaning, big in feeling, big in purpose. And all of that, all of the above, is what sustains, is what continues to grow a business, is what continues to bring you all of the other end results that you want. You want success, you want a great brand, you want amazing clients, you want all that stuff, right? Or all those elements. And I do too. And we can bring all of those amazing people, amazing opportunities, amazing revenue to us and continue bringing it to us if we're focusing on this purpose, on a deeper purpose within that business. And as my friend Eric, who just hopped on, he said, #value and purpose. Exactly. So maybe that's the hump. And again, this has all been inspired by my friend Stephanie, who wrote me back saying, I'm in for Greece. And for those of you who just hopped on, definitely check out the beginning of this share and anything that you haven't heard yet, because it's a really important one. She wrote me back, as I shared at the beginning, saying, I'm ready, like I'm ready to finally do this. Again, she and I worked at Nike at different times, her for a long time. And when I said, hey, let's, share this with my newsletter list, let's go to Greece, who's in basically. And we're gonna be doing that through my CEO Changemaker mastermind group. She said, I would love to do that. And I'm also ready to do something, meaning to create my business. I've been thinking about it for a long time. So, and I, there's so many of us out there. So let's not think, anymore. Let's do. Let's use the energy of what I just shared today, of thinking about how your business can truly make a difference, and allow that to be the energy that pulls you. Allow that to be the fuel that gets you over the hump. Because a lot of times when we can't find the fuel, when speaking of the hump, when we can't, I'm thinking of, we were at a carnival this weekend, and Josh, my husband, was pushing, those plastic balls that the kids go in, right? And like at fairs and things. Well, at my son's school, he had to work that particular booth, because I have two hamstring strains. So I couldn't do any of the pushing. So he was doing like the heavy lifting up and over these humps. Like there were like 3 humps that the kids would go over, and he was sweating profusely. And I'm thinking of that, like if you can't get your ball over the hump, that might be because you're using the wrong fuel. It might be because you are too worried about yourself, meaning too worried about, oh, well, how's my brand going to be, and how am I going to create my services, and what am I going to price my services at? And it's all me. But the second that we start to go, hold on a second, I'm going to just table that. I'm going to put everything that's all true, and I need to figure that out. But I'm going to table that, and I'm going to turn this way, and I'm going to attempt to use the excitement that I have to make a difference in the world, and to create this business, because I will get to support this group of people, or get to go, with clients on a trip to Greece, like I'm doing, going to support the same refugee camp that I went to, allow that to be the fuel. And the thing is, it's all an experiment. If you're not feeling it, if you feel like you aren't getting over, aren't making a go of your business, meaning starting to create it, birth it, or if you feel like you've been kind of stagnant, like a lot of my clients feel, they've been in business actually for a year or 2 years or 5 years or 8 years, like I've said, let's experiment. Let's try different fuel. What have you been focusing on? Well, let's focus on something else. Let's be creative, and let's create from this space, and let's see if that actually gets you into flow, if that's what actually gets you into even, to land you inside of even more amazing ideas for your brand, for the pricing of your services, for all of that stuff. So with that, I leave you with that idea, or leave you with that thought, that idea. And again, I at the beginning, I called out the mamas in the group, but this is definitely true for the papas, meaning this is definitely true for the men as well. Sometimes it's a very human thing to overthink and to keep overthinking, when pulling the trigger can come as easily as shifting focus from us to, no, I'm going to start this thing, and I'm going to start it now. I'm going to start it right now, like as in yesterday, because I want to get to the point sooner rather than later to help others. I want to get to the point where I can fly myself and, invite clients to go to Greece, or to go to, help in Marin or Sonoma with the fires, or, go to Puerto Rico, wherever it is that our heart calls us. From that same newsletter, I had a family member who wrote me back saying, I love this, and, have you thought about supporting, and she named some other things. And so I share that to say, there are so many different opportunities for you to follow. And so, so follow those. You know what, oh, I don't know, I responded to her and I said, thank you so much, for these ideas. They're awesome. And as I shared with someone else, I go where my heart leads me. I go where my heart tells me to go. And so last November it was Greece. It will be Greece again. It was Marin and Sonoma. I have, and these are sort of, again, physical trips I've taken. There's obviously been, donations of other kinds and such as well. But get excited by that. Get excited by, by getting your hands dirty and bringing people with you. So with that, everyone, have a wonderful rest of the day. I hope for those of you who watch this on your commute, thanks, Eric, for your message. For those of you who watch this in the car line, picking up your kids, I hope that it has excited you. I hope that you are inspired, but more than inspired, I hope that you are motivated to actually get into action with some of the things that I shared today. So with that, and until next time, enjoy your business and enjoy your life.